Today I will explain you the 3-day transit cycle that starts from this duality of the Sun in the 23.3 Earth 33.3 to its end, which is the 23.6, we'll see later, and 43.6. So a little premise. My dream is to make everyone aware of the simulation in which we are evolving, to bring great awareness and remove the oppression, mental oppression of not knowing why we are here in the now doing the specific things that we do. Second thing, all the transits I will be mentioning are on time zone GMT+1. All charts used in this analysis are courtesy of Neutrino Design. Go subscribe to use their app. It's a great app. I absolutely recommend it. So, let's get into the substance. Earth is the mutative struggle. In which the Sun sits in. And the Sun is the energy that is trying to emerge, trying to manifest. So I've passed the last year explaining the metaphysics of signs. Now we actually get to use them. So you see the Sun is in the 4023 of Taurus, and the Earth is in the 43 in Scorpio. So this is called the channel of the freak to the genius. And the freak is a 43 because it has those insights. This is a gate of personal insights, of personal knowledge, personal mutative knowledge. So we are talking about a sun, an expression that is trying to emerge in this throat gate of individual knowledge, in which the struggle itself is also as well in the individual circuit. So this is all about the individual, because some other transits will not be the same. There will be transits with maybe a collective gate in the sun and maybe a tribal gate in the earth. So you have all these sorts of variations. We'll explore them in detail. Let's start from this sun. It's this 23.3 here right now. Now it's exalted, and its exalted form is individual expression that attracts attention without triggering threat. So we have this power of individual expression that is trial and error, because it's a third line, so it's trial and error. Is the individual I knows. This is something that you know and you express that is being trial and error, such as I am doing now. And the third line is very chaotic, so this is quite chaotic as you are feeling it. So this is individual knower that becomes effective only by making mistakes and learning how to communicate insights in ways the other can receive. So this is in pure raw individuality that attracts attention. And this is our little sun here. Let's get to the 43. The 43 is called expediency, and this is a line about individual willingness or inability to stand by their knowing. So I'm gonna stand by my knowing regardless of what's gonna happen. So this is individual insight that seeks expression and encounters resistance. This is in its exalted form. Here is normal, so it's nor exalted nor in detriment, is a commitment to one's knowing regardless of any circumstance, and enduring any criticism or condemnation to express one's breakthrough. This is the gate of mental breakthroughs. And this, the capacity to align with whatever is necessary to protect and transmit this insight that originates in the ajna, in the third eye. So in a shadow expression, its detriment, it's gonna mean that you will abandon your knowing out of criticism, fear, rejection, or punishment. So this creates a dilemma. And the dilemma is, can I continue express what I know even when others say I'm wrong, strange or dangerous? So the danger is that without clarity, this can become quite reckless. So all these two are closely linked in the individual circuitry. Behaviors, they may be labeled as odd. So this is the essence, basically. So right now, for now, as long as this gate stays in the 23.3, we will have this trial and erroring of individual knowing. When it switches, and we will switch, we get that later, it's going to be different. But now let's get into what's composed of. We're going to start from the sun. It's basically the same, but from the sun is in Taurus, so it has the first domicile in the Earth. Taurus starts with the mutative potential that's trying to emerge into the beautiful flowers. So we have the 43. So we start expressing those insights. The start of expression of those insights is about the insight themselves. So we start with the insights. We input the insights, and we have a first exile of this 41 Pluto, because the opposite to Earth is Pluto. If you've seen my videos, if not, go watch them. We have this 41 Pluto here. This is the gate of fantasies. This is the gate of the pressure to have fantasies. I don't know if you and everybody I know has been starting projects, has been going on those crazy fantasies. I'm going as well as on my crazy fantasy, you know. So we're going to get to the 41-4. So this is a line that is fixed because it's a fourth line. There's a fixed fantasy, a desire for experience of such fantasy. And the strength of this 41-4 is persistence and directional commitment to its fantasy. So this locks into one emotional vision and fantasy. This fitness gives it endurance or not, which tries to make it long term. So the energy is not the spirit itself, and this is very important. This is a pressure. This is in the root, which is all pressure, very physical pressure you will feel of fantasies, but the fuel and desire to move towards this fantasy. So this is not the fantasy itself. This thing and this not the fantasy itself, it's the fuel that goes through it, for it. Success comes from adapting to limitation without abandoning the fantasy. So everything can die, but not the fantasy we are trying to build. And it's in retrograde, so it's not the nicest. I have a conjunct my Chiron, it's not pretty. It's very intense and transformative. So its health expression, its assault, it is staying true to one's true fantasy. With the adjustment necessary along the way, so if something goes wrong, you fix it. And you don't abandon your fantasy. While the shadow is sacrificing your authentic fantasies to maintain relationships or social harmony, which is something I've experienced. I have my Chiron there. I've passed my life doing that. It's not pretty. And these people will compromise their true path because they fear losing connection with others. When they abandon this fixed inner direction or for agendas, frustration follows. So you want to avoid this as much as possible. Basically, you want to fulfill, to go through your fantasies, not sacrifice your relationships, regardless of whatever happens. So, you know, human progress comes from this devotions to a vision. Evolution happens because we stay faithful to our dreams and make it real. So stay loyal to your fantasy. What I wanted to say, this is what the 41 is doing here. This 41 is being converted into desert. So we are converting our fantasies into those individual insights. Do you see that? We're doing that. So then we have the main mutative point, which is our Jupiter. Jupiter is the mutative point of Taurus. So we have this Taurus, this boiling point, which is this 53 sits, which is an amazing gate I love. Personally, this is the gate, the pressure to begin. This is not any pressure to begin. This is the struggle between starting things impulsively versus completing a full cycle of experience and maturation. So, most people begin things but jump out before completion. This sixth line wants wholeness. It wants the whole process to be completed from beginning to end and gain the wisdom of it. So, since the word is inconsistent and finished, this is gonna hesitate to commit unless it sees the real potential for completion, which I'm seeing now, personally. Check your own life, see your own life, see if it resonates. Success here attracts others towards stability, growth, and completion. We are trying to complete. The shadow side here is the fear and withdrawal. So basically, you hide your abilities, you withdraw from it, this experience that you've committed to, or avoid the commitment entirely. So the lesson, the good thing that you want to do is to commit. See if it follows through, whatever you're trying to begin. See if it follows through from beginning to end. And if it does, you commit totally to it. True leadership comes from living fully through this process and embodying the completion in a world which is addicted to beginnings. This is the gate of beginnings. So what we are trying to do here is begin those insights. Those are insights that the expression it's trying to begin. We're trying to begin to put out an expression. At least today in this precise moment of this gate. So this is what we're trying to do. And then the result is the Venus. Venus, the beautiful flower that grows out of Taurus, which is 45.5, which is in Gemini. And this 45.5 is called leadership, gated tribal gathering. This is a line that carries the projected role of tribal leadership, becoming the center, the focus, and organizing authority for the group. Others will come to this projected leadership, authority, and direction. The role of these people with this gate is not to do the work itself, but to guide, educate, organize all the resources for the tribe, for the people that you are with, or the group of people that you belong to. The alt expression, the Uranus exalted, which we don't have here, but it can emerge. The alt expression is intuitive leadership that strengthens the group through innovation, direction, and beneficial organization. These individuals can naturally become respected centers of authority because people will recognize the capacity to coordinate well-being for the tribe. The shadow expression instead is assuming authority, recognition, or respect before it has been earned, which is what I'm trying to not do desperately, basically, personally. So true leadership, is not self-declared. It emerges when people see the value and benefit of this guidance. And this is projected, by the way. This is people that you will feel the projection of this Venus. I'm feeling it. It's very, very strong and not the most comfortable. But we have the exile, which is a Mars, with this beautiful Mars here. Beautiful Mars in the 42.5, which is the pressure to complete. So this is the pressure to begin. And this is the pressure, this is the energy to complete. To put the energy to something and complete, not just begin it. And we have the full channel, so there's a lot of beginnings that are being completed, which is the gate of, it's an amazing gate of completion, of self-actualization. This line is projected of having the resources, the energy and maturity to go through that experience of the 53, and complete its developmental process. So people will project that you are mature, capable, and able to sustain the growth of whatever you began, which is growth that becomes natural, self-fulfilling, influence emerging from those lived experiences rather than seeking the power directly. So people will project capacity onto us, everyone will feel this. We will often embody this basically. The shadow expression is that growth becomes private, inward, and reclusive, so we shut out of sharing this growth that we are going through. While instead we want to help people grow, we don't want to do that. And sometimes you will experience a midst of this, basically during those times, we will experience people, this thing will come out of secret experiences, unusual explorations, very personal transformation that don't get shared. Or they do. So we have this duality. Every gate here has the shadow and the exalted, the detriment, the exalted. So this is the essence of it. This is what we are trying to do. We are converting fantasy into insight. This insight evolves and becomes the the pressure to begin and see the whole process of beginning, seeing if it's completable or not. The fall here, the two sets. So we're trying to convert. The Jupiter is opposite to Mercury. Sorry, the two sets. This line stands outside the mutative process. This is the gate of direction. It's here in the G center. You see, G center here, direction, and this is the energy. It's called fixation, and it's that's how the mutative process is searching for a direction. It's complete and explainable so that it can be truly trusted before committing into it. So, since I seek the whole picture, but there is here there is a difficulty of and reluctance of fully seeing the mutation and committing to the direction. So those individuals, we will all hesitate to mutate because we cannot see yet the full path, the consequences, or whatever the direction itself can be fulfilled. So the healthy expression is Mercury exalted is the deep rational reflection about the direction we're gonna take, searching for a mutation that can actually be understood, articulated, or lived correctly. So if I cannot explain the direction, how can others follow it? And how can it mutate reality? This sixth line wants to mutate reality. So because of this, the mind constantly rationalizes and evaluates possible directions before committing. So we don't just want direction, we want a direction that can be communicated, embodied, and made meaningful to others, And this is what we convert here. This is what we're converting here. We're converting this awareness and trying to understand the direction is. Oh, it's actually exalted, so it's good. We're feeling it. We can explain the direction we're following through. We are converting this communicating of the direction, because it's Mercury, into the philosophy and expansion of the new beginnings. We convert our personal direction, this is individual, into this new beginnings. And the result, the beautiful result we're trying to get is the mutation of this 45, is the energy of consensus. We're trying to gather consensus. So this is what happens inside. This is the inner mechanics of this 23.3 and 43.3.